The search continues for 5 sailors who went missing following a helicopter crash off our coast. Plus, what we're learning about even more sailors who were injured during the incident.
Plus, an aggressive response tonight to keep the fast-moving Caldor fire from reaching South Lake Tahoe.
A black man pulled over and South Press wants to hold police accountable.
Another local school district is impacted by the national school bus driver shortage. We hear from a frustrated parent in Santee.
And the helpers who are coming to the rescue in the wake of Hurricane Ida in Louisiana.
To be honest, theaters did not have a great run in 2020, but I'm standing in San Diego's newest independent cinema.
News 8 at 6 starts now.
Tonight, the search continues for 5 sailors still missing following a helicopter crash 60 miles off our coast. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Navy officials say the helicopter went down during routine training aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln when it crashed into the ocean. A total of 6 sailors were on board at the time. Only 1 has been rescued.
And new today, we've learned 5 sailors on the ship were injured during the incident. News 8's Shannon Handy has details on that and what a former Navy helicopter pilot is saying about this crash. Shannon?
Carlo and Marcella, the USS Abraham Lincoln is based here in San Diego. Now, Navy officials will not say exactly what led up to the crash, but as you guys mentioned, it affected not just those sailors on board the helicopter, but ones who were on the ship. And one former pilot I spoke with says it shows just how dangerous routine training can be. This is video of a MH-60S, the same type of helicopter involved in Tuesday's crash. Navy officials say it happened around 4:30 in the afternoon, 60 miles off the coast of San Diego near San Clemente Island. The helicopter was operating on the deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln doing routine training when, for unknown reasons, it crashed into the ocean.
It's awful.
Chris Dunphy was visibly shaken when I spoke to him about the incident. He served in the Navy as a helicopter pilot and later as an instructor. He's flown the MH-60S countless times before. While he did not want to speculate as to what exactly happened, he did say that type of aircraft is known for lifting and transporting cargo, noting there's a lot that can go wrong when trying to take off from a ship.
They're carrying huge loads.
A total of 6 sailors were on board. 1 sailor was rescued and transported ashore. That person is listed in stable condition, but 5 others are still missing. The Coast Guard is helping the Navy with the search.
I've been out in that area a good part of my life. You're talking about 2,500 feet of water, so it's not going to be easy.
In addition to the sailors who were on the helicopter, 5 sailors on board the ship were injured during the incident. They are all listed in stable condition. 2 were transported ashore for treatment. The other 3 had minimal injuries and remained on board. On the USS Abraham Facebook page, family members of the ship's crew have posted messages of hope, praying for a good outcome. Today in Washington, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin shared that same sentiment.
And on behalf of the whole department, I want to pass on our thoughts and prayers for the best possible outcome.
Also on that Facebook page, people were talking about how difficult this week has been for the military. This crash happened just days after 13 service members were killed in Afghanistan. We, of course, will keep you updated with the very latest as more details are released.
Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez, 22, from Indio, California. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Dylan R. Marola, 20, from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
A special remembrance in Murrieta for the service members killed in last week's bombing outside the Kabul airport. 13 bells tolled for each of the service members who died while providing safe passage to Americans and allies trying to flee Afghanistan last week. 10 of the fallen were based at Camp Pendleton. Hundreds gathered today to honor the fallen heroes.
In the Sierra Nevadas tonight, fire crews are working to protect homes and other structures from the Caldor fire.
After more than 2 weeks, this fire has destroyed nearly 500 homes and structures. It has burned nearly 200,000 acres, and that's more than 311 square miles.
Reporter John Bartell is in Echo Lake, where some historic cabins could not be saved.
As the Caldor fire has ripped through the communities here at Echo Lake, we unfortunately have come across an area that fire crews could not save. We are on Echo Summit Drive. This is right off of Johnson Pass here, where behind me you're going to see several different cabins burned. This essentially spans from Johnson Pass Road down Echo Summit Drive. Now driving on Echo Lakes Drive here. This is the Atwood tract. We're finding several of these cabins here still standing. And it's these guys, these ground crews here, they're the whole reason many of these cabins still standing today.
We're expecting heavy fire progression today.
Right.
So we're putting the work early while we can before winds pick up.
And stopping off again off Echo Lakes Road, we come across Berkeley Camp here. This historic camp was built in 1922 and fire crews have been protecting it for days here, and from what we can see, many cabins still standing. And up here on Echo Lake Road here, fire crews still working to put out spot flames around these historic cabins here, also laying down fire hose for extra protection. Down here at Lower Echo Lake, fire crews filling up their tankers for those ground crews. Meanwhile, just across the lake, small spot fires are burning. Hi, Lauren. This is John with Channel 10 News. You asked us to go up to Echo Circle here.
Yes.
Yes, I just want to inform you, yes, your cabin is still standing here. Cabin number 20?
Yes, yes.
It's still standing here.
Still standing.
And this firefight is still not over here. Many of these ground crews still working to lay hoses, create fire lines around these historic cabins, some of them built back in the 1920s, and they are just gonna continue to protect this pristine area. Up here at the Echo Lake and Echo Lake communities, I'm John Bartel.
It's so tragic to see all of that damage and devastation.
And they keep going and going. Fires have been burning for more than a month now.
Continues to burn. The remnants of Ida are battering the East Coast. At least 2 tornadoes have been reported in Maryland.
Meantime, people across southeast Louisiana remain in the dark tonight, waiting for their power to be restored in the wake of the storm. News 8's Evan Narani has been reporting from the New Orleans area this week.
Tonight, he shows us some of the people who are coming to the rescue of those in need.
Today we're outside of Celebration Church in Metairie, Louisiana. This is where a makeshift kitchen has been set up by Mercy Chefs. They are feeding people around the Louisiana area, in some cases their first hot meal in 3 days following Hurricane Ida.
We cried yesterday when we found out about this.
All right, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Nobody really understands what's happening. Thank you so much.
We are feeding as many people as we can feed. Mercy Chefs is ramping up. We'll do 12 to 15,000 meals today. We'll get up over 20,000 tomorrow.
Salad.
The founder and head chef of Mercy Chefs, Gary LeBlanc, says that he lived through Hurricane Katrina and saw its devastation firsthand. After that, he said he knew he needed to respond.
I came down and volunteered with a bunch of other groups, and frankly, I didn't like the way they fed people. I thought there was a better way to feed people, and that was the birth of Mercy Chefs 15 years ago. New Orleans is really hurt. I know it doesn't seem like that, but no power, no water, all the infrastructure is broken now. And there aren't a lot of folks that can come and help. Just don't forget New Orleans.
We've been on the ground here in Louisiana since Hurricane Ida made landfall, and we've seen the destruction that it has left behind. Down trees and power lines, a lot of devastation across this state. But we've also seen all the helpers, like the ones behind us. We've asked them along the way, why are you doing this? Every time their answer is, we're a community here in Louisiana. In Metairie, I'm Evan Narani, News 8.
There is also a lot of online speculation about whether Hurricane Ida made landfall as a stronger storm than Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. We will verify that in our second half hour.
A San Diego man says he was racially profiled in a traffic stop by San Diego police. It happened in Shelltown, and part of it was caught on camera.
News 8's Abby Alford shares the man's story, the police response, and how this is now under investigation.
Sunday around 9:15 in the morning, Columbus White says he was driving down Vesta Street when he saw a San Diego police officer trailing him and hit his lights. That's when he pulled into this parking lot right here, and he says that's when it escalated.
What did you pull me over for?
You're Columbus White, right?
Yeah, but
Columbus White says the minute he was pulled over by San Diego police for his safety, he got out of the car and started recording on his cell phone.
No, I'm not. I'm not on the parole probation, sir.
Fourth waiver means that if you're on parole, probation, or a conditional release, you can be searched without probable cause.
You have a fourth waiver? No, I'm not. I'm not a fourth waiver. I'm telling you right now, I'm not a fourth waiver. So, okay, well, whatever your system says, call your sergeant down here.
You're gonna go in handcuffs.
Before White was detained in cuffs, he says he handed his phone to a witness to record. That's when you see officers swarm the area and one rush at the bystander holding the camera.
Why? Why? Back up and get away from my officers. That's what you're gonna do.
Hey, hold on. Hey, bro, stop touching me.
Back up.
White says when the sergeant arrived, he ran his name and then he was let go.
He sees that I'm not on parole probation. I'm not a fourth waiver. I don't have no warrants, so he lets me go. Like, I didn't have to go through all that, is what I'm saying. So basically, he violated me.
Activists like Tasha Williamson believe that White was racially profiled and submitted a third-party complaint claiming police brutality.
It's about them actually having clear, concise changes and accountability. It's about making sure that we are free to travel, because we are not.
Since the case is under investigation, police would not answer specifics about the traffic stop, but sent a statement in part saying that there is a thorough internal affairs review to determine any violations. Activist Malcolm Mudiki says that the black community needs to be seen.
And a lot of times it's not even about going to jail or being killed, it's just about dignity. You know, that's a lot of times, that's all we just want is just dignity.
White says the fear of driving while black has to stop.
I just don't want this to happen, keep happening. I don't want this to happen to the next black man that's out there.
San Diego police say after the internal affairs investigation will be turned over to the Commission on Police Practices for their review.
Thank you, Abby. A woman who punched a flight attendant on board a Southwest flight to San Diego will face federal charges. Viviana Quinones is charged with felony assault resulting in serious bodily injury and interference with the flight crew. You see the video here. That video went viral back in May 23rd. According to the affidavit in court, Quinones punched a flight attendant identified only by the initials SL in the face and head, chipping 3 of her teeth and caused a cut under her eye that required 4 stitches. Quinones is due in court September 17th.